Send Topical back with another video. This is a clip of the top 5 from this week's Not Topical podcast show. I'm in the corner for that. He'll tell you about social media and we'll dive into it.
If you scroll down to the description box below, pop it open, you'll find links to our social media accounts. Click on those, give us a follow. We also have links to our Coffee account and our Patreon account. And there's the thanks button right there on the YouTube page. That's 3 ways that you can help support our channel financially. We'd really appreciate that if you would consider it. But if you're not going to consider it, what is also incredibly helpful is if you subscribe, and it's free. So please do that.
Top 5, no debating. Top 5.
We're doing top 5 reboots in honor of Halloween Ends. Our reboot rules depends on the person. It is what it is. He'll explain the top 5, and then we'll go ahead and get on into it.
How we do our top 5s is he's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3-2-3-2 trade-off number 1s. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, we just talk about it once because it saves time.
We talked a lot about movies today. I mean, obviously. Video games today. Mm-hmm. And oddly enough, number 5 is a reboot. Tomb Raider.
That's my number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember we watched this together. Mm-hmm. Came out of the theater. Man, that was really good.
Yeah. Really
fun. It didn't feel like a video game movie. It felt like its own separate thing. Mm-hmm. Indiana Jones us, we both loved that shit. And we went online. And people were like, man, that shit garbage.
It makes no damn sense.
Yeah, I don't understand why people didn't like that movie. I thought that movie was really fun.
And this was one of the few times where it set up a sequel, and I was like, I want to see where this leads. Because you completed the story. Yeah. But you still left some food on the plate for me to come back and get some more. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I want the rest of that food. I don't want there to be no leftovers. And Alicia Vikander did an amazing job.
There was a sequel, wasn't there?
No.
Oh, there's not? Okay.
There was a sequel to Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider. It's like, how the fuck did that get a sequel? Huh. Like, Daniel Craig wasn't even cool. And, like, that shit got a sequel then. Yeah. Because of sex, that's why. Perverts. But number 4, controversial. You could have went with almost any of them. I personally went with The Batman. Because you could have went Dark Knight franchise trilogy. Yeah. But to me, I really don't like the... Personally, I hate, despise Dark Knight Rises. Batman Begins. Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. It's not the one that I'll go back. I usually skip that and just watch the Dark Knight. Call that a day. But The Batman... People haven't talked about this movie enough. They've had years to talk about The Dark Knight, so I went with The Batman.
That's fair.
The gritty, emotional story that it compels and unfolds, and every time it lets out a detail, a clue that Detective Batman has to search and research, you ask questions about it. It gets you more invested into the movie. What it's seen, the villain, Riddler, spectacular. Their relationships with the Penguin, how he's not really a bad guy. He ain't shooting motherfuckers with a fucking...
He is a bad guy. He is not like the villain, the Penguin.
He's not a super villain. He's a bad guy, which I like that. Yeah. More grounded approach.
He's just a mob guy. Yeah.
Like, he's not shooting motherfuckers with umbrellas. That's what I'm trying to say.
Correct, yeah.
And
or eating a raw fish.
Nah, he ain't doing that. But the relationships that all these characters are in between, intertwined and whatnot, and, like, the government being corrupt and leading back to his father, having doubts about that. That's something new I haven't seen yet. So, Robert Pattinson, fantastic Batman. I'm glad that next movie we'll be getting out of this emo goth boy phase. And you get a new performance, really, as he grows as Bruce Wayne. And I think that's the most compelling thing about this franchise. It's like a start to finish type thing. Because we always get Bruce Wayne in the middle of Batman. This is run as Batman, so it'd be interesting to see that. I'm a little worried because I don't like the way the Joker looks.
Yeah, I don't either. We'll see, though.
Other than that, hopefully it's a fantastic movie. And it might go up my list. Who knows?
Yeah. So, my personal rules for mine, no superheroes. Because, well, in our world it may technically be a reboot, but it's also just too easy to be like, oh, different universe, different Batman, different Spider-Man, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So no superheroes and no direct sequels. So
Top Gun.
Yeah, so Top Gun, not a reboot. It's just you are rebringing well, it's not even a franchise. Now it's a franchise. It wasn't before, but you're bringing something back into light that existed. You are not rebooting or retconning anything. So my rule was, if it is a sequel, it has to retcon something, or it has to be like so outside of what has already existed before that it is very much so just like a reboot or retelling of a story, right? So my number 5, I went with Halloween. Had a lot of fun with it. It retcons every Halloween movie except one. Yeah. Because the way you're supposed to watch it, I mean, it literally is supposed to be one and then this, right?
Right.
So it was fun. I'm not a horror guy. We saw that movie together. We really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to enjoy it. It's really good. And it was a really like cool way to take a story that started a very long time ago and like bring it into now.
Can I ask you something?
You're not taking the franchise, you're just taking that Soul movie?
Yeah, literally just Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
the
these are all
2018 Halloween. All of mine are just
Soul movies.
I mean, I did it that way. There are some of them that could be.
I have 2 franchises.
I do too.
Okay.
Technically, they're probably the same one.
Probably. No.
And then my number 4 was Tomb Raider.
Okay. Now number 3. That super hot fire. Jumanji.
That is my number 2.
Okay.
Our 1, 2, and 3 are probably going to be the same.
I don't think so.
Just in a different order.
I don't think so.
I guarantee you they are. Because I already looked at your list.
Oh, not a fuck you didn't.
Jumanji. It ties into the first one. But again, it went from a board game to a video game. It updated it, very modern, made sense. You get the little cameo, whatever you want to call it, Easter egg of the original Jumanji film. But it's totally different. You become characters. Fantastic. These avatars are fucking hilarious. Perfect casting with the avatars. Finally, that's a rock thing. You get a new, fresh Kevin Hart-Rock relationship that doesn't feel forced, and it's finally funny again. Because them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They beat the dead horse, and that motherfucker's in the Godfather's bed. You know what I'm saying? That thing's done. But in this franchise, they made it very funny. And then it came back and did it again with a sequel. Because, like, maybe, like if we're doing 1 through 10, 100% to 0%, give me a fucking 10-point difference on that. Like, if this is like a 8.5, that's like a 7.5. Maybe higher. Like, it's like right below it.
Yeah.
Great sequel.
The second one is the one where like the grandpas or the dads like get sucked in. Yeah. So Jumanji, it was my number 2. It fits my rules because it's definitely not a direct sequel. It just ties into it, and it just completely revamps what the original Jumanji did. I feel like eventually, like maybe with the third.
Is there a third?
I feel like it probably will be. It's still making money.
Still.
Well, not like currently making money, but like the last 2 movies made money, so they will keep making them. And this time, my guess is they will probably do what the original Jumanji did, and then they will like bring it into our world. Because that's what's so different about it.
That's what the sequel ended off.
When Robin Williams got sucked into Jumanji, he was just him in Jumanji, right? So completely revamped it. When they first announced Welcome to the Jungle, I was upset. I was not happy. I love the original Jumanji. It was like a staple of my childhood. I could watch that movie over and over again and enjoy every second of it, except for the really crappy CGI monkeys, because as we are probably going to talk about very soon, I really don't like monkeys. But I was really apprehensive. Went and saw it. It was hilarious. It was funny. It had a good story. I was like completely surprised by how much I just thoroughly enjoyed that movie. I think you could have even like not made it a Jumanji movie and it still would have been just as good. But like, if you're gonna talk in technical terms, the best video game movie of all time. Like, but yeah, really loved it. It was good.
Personally, I think it's better than the original. Personally.
Well, we're all wrong sometimes.
It's debatable!
Anyways, Planet of the Apes is my number 2.
That's my number 3.
I'm taking the trilogy as a whole
Yeah, I
for
want
this
that.
one as well.
Mm-hmm.
How they structured this and had the slow burn build to it, and they gave you a little bit at the climax of each movie. Like, that made the third one disappointing, but third one's still not that bad. Woody Harrelson could have been a better villain. It could have been more action, and it would have been perfect. But, like, the story they told was perfect. And then you get to the end, and the son's born. And that son leads into the original Planet of the Apes trilogy. I mean, film series, because there's, like, 6 of them, 5 of them, I believe. And it's like, oh, shit. We're here. And this has made a really cool special moment. And you just get a bunch of really cool, fun, different relationships and sides to this that made it almost a political issue in some films.
Mm-hmm.
In most of the films, actually. Than it was a story of relationships and hate and things like that. So layered. Good action. CGI is fantastic. Aaron Sorkin was like, this is what I'm going to be known for. And that's what he's known for. That and Gollum. That creepy looking fucker.
Andy Serkis?
What did I say?
You said Aaron Sorkin. I was like, huh. Okay. Don't know where we're going with that.
It's on your list.
Right. It is on my list. I hate monkeys. Monkeys are stupid. They're not entertaining to me. Don't like them at all. That being said, these are really well-made films. I can acknowledge that and still hate monkeys. I had to do some, like, a little bit of research to make sure that it fit my criteria. Because, honestly, I was running out of, like, good movies that fit this criteria.
Yeah, it was a very hard list to make.
So I was like, I really want this to be on there. Let me see how it fits. So I read, like, synopsises of all the other Planet of the Apes movies. Have you seen...
All of them.
You've seen all of them?
Except for the Mark Wahlberg 2004 one.
The Tim Burton one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, turns out this Planet of the Apes trilogy completely retcons a ton of stuff from the originals. Like, it's not even close. Like timeline is screwed up. How the apes get smart is completely screwed up. The first ones have some disease that wipes out every cat and dog on the planet. And then people are like, I want monkeys as pets, which, like, why the heck would we ever do that? That's unrealistic. But yeah, they're good. But I also just honestly had more fun reading all the crazy shit that happens in the originals, because there's some, like, really wild shit that happens in the originals.
The sequel, or maybe it's the third one.
Well, it's just like, okay, like, first of all, the whole, like, weird, like, time warp thing of how, like, Charlton Heston and all them even got in the future in the first place is wild. And then everything that happens in the first movie happens. And then they're like, oh, hey, there's, like, these underground humans that, like, worship an atomic bomb that, like, and they, I guess, from, like, nuclear radiation are, like, psychopaths.
It's a cult, yeah.
Or, like, psychopathic now. And then they're just like, fuck it, we're gonna blow this shit up too. And then fast forward to, like, the next set of movies, and they're like, oh, these apes didn't die. This bomb is actually what opened the wormhole that let them go back to Earth into the past, and be like, it's nuts, man.
Bro, the third one is literally...
You might say it's bananas.
Whack.
I hate monkeys.
The third one is literally like a 70s sitcom. At least 2 apes, like, dressed as humans, like living in New York. The most weird, wild shit ever. It's amazing. The first one's a masterpiece, though, I think. When it comes to top 5 sci-fi movies on any, like, list of all time. When it comes to sci-fi movies, easy for me. But
sure, why not?
I think on, like, non-bias, let's see the top 5 or top 10. But anyways, number 1, Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, same.
How do you make this good? Well, Mel Gibson, even though he's a evil Gentile and most people don't like him, but there is a huge attachment to his character with fans who love cinema. What do? Get a badass actor to play him and have him not talk. Yeah. And then you have another badass in the movie and make her the main focus. And Furiosa killed it. She was amazing. Yeah. She was incredible.
Is this true?
It's true. Yeah, so I also was reading a little bit about this because I was like, what is the Mad Max timeline? Is this supposed to be, like, canonical? Is it all supposed to be in line with each other? And so the original idea was that they did...
It's a direct sequel, right?
Huh?
It's a direct sequel, right?
They wanted it to be because they wanted Mel Gibson to come back and play Max again. That was the original idea. But he didn't, so now it's like, well...
Good for him.
For George Miller or for Mel Gibson?
Mel Gibson, because he could have took that and made a lot of money.
Right.
But instead he's like in like B movies killing it.
Like Fat Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like...
He's not a sellout.
You can't... I don't think that you can say it is a direct sequel because Max hasn't aged at all. Like a lot of people's point is like in Fury Road, all of the vehicles are like modern vehicles where all the vehicles in... Like, and then that doesn't make sense. So if the world went crazy and lost its shit in the 70s, because in the OG Mad Max movies, it's like all the vehicles are like 70s vehicles. And then you jump forward and there's like a 2012 Mustang modded out to some shit. Who made that shit?
Is it?
The world has been done. Yeah.
I don't know cars.
Oh, well, I read all of this today. So like it cannot be in the same universe. Like it can, you just have to like have a big suspension of disbelief, and I'm going to choose not to because I want this to work for my rules for my list, and that's it. The movie's excellent. Can't wait to see Furiosa. Shit's probably gonna be badass.
If it ever gets made.
It will.
George Miller's old.
Doesn't matter. They will replace him. That movie is gonna make money. They are not gonna not make that movie.
It's been quite a while since it's been made.
It doesn't matter. They're not gonna not make that movie.
Like, I'm surprised there hasn't been a sequel already. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, COVID fucked a lot of shit up.
Yeah.
Set everything back.
But, yeah, in my mind, when I made my list, I didn't read anything. Reading's for prisoners. Mad Max.
You are.
Road Warrior. Fury Road. There is no Thunderdome. Sorry, Tina Turner.
Turtle?
Turner. Tina Turner.
Tina Turtle.
Yeah. Franklin's mom.
Nice.
But those are our top 5 reboots. Very hard list. Tell us down below in the comment section for your top 5. Did you enjoy the podcast? Tell us that as well. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video. And subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.